if this is what you've come to see, which is the Iron Golem, you're going to have to follow along as we make our way through Sens Fortress, a house of traps and other things. Welcome to Smash Games, and this is Dark Souls Remastered, Part 10. Now, last time, we fought off against Ceaseless Discharge, others to say we probably one of the biggest cheeses of the entire... Well, that's not true, but he's probably at least the second biggest cheese of the entire game. And yeah, simply run, smack him a bit, and you're done. That was it. Anyway, picking up. Now, we make our way through Filing Shrine to the elevators, which will take us up through the Undead Parish. We run through the Undead Parish to... not quite to the Smith, but, you know, it's essentially we're going to the bonfire that's there, so... Anyway, just run. You shouldn't have to kill anything at all until we actually get to the gates of Sens Fortress. I strongly advise you to rest there at the bonfire before proceeding. Now, run away along. Be careful. This is one of the first of many traps and triggers and stuff. So yeah, 2 Gorgon snake men. If you line them up, you should be able to kill one, or at least do a bit of damage to one or both. And then, you know, with some luck, like myself, you know, you're able to take on just one. You can't parry that snake bite. You can get the backstab. It's not very easy to backstab them. Their window is a little bit smaller than most. However, that chop attack is most definitely parryable, as you can see. Anyway, you get a cool 500 souls from each one, and here's a little hidden soul packet right there. Brave warrior. Pretty sure that's 5,000. I shouldn't say stuff because I just can't remember. Anyway, another soul packet right there. Just showing you one of the demons down there. Now, you will need to time it. Some parts you'll just need to run because it's just easier. Don't worry about the one up there. Just get under the bridge a little bit to face off against this one. And, you know, just try and let him kill you a little bit before you try and actually parry him. That's a joke, obviously. Anyway, continuing. He did. Now, we're going to jump off this ledge to at least kill one. But before we do, I'm just checking the best equipment for electricity resistance at the moment. Ideally, the current outfit that we're wearing, which is the grey lobes of one of the daughters of Izalith, has got very decent lightning resistance. And as you can see, we take care of one. Now, you're going to have to time your dodges a bit. With some luck, you want to at least get around, get the backstab. If the timing's on, the bolt of lightning should go straight through because you got invisibility frames, essentially. It's the same thing when you're parrying, backstabbing, or if you've been knocked down. So you get invisibility frames. So ideally, or if it's timed just right, if he's just shooting off like he did with me, you should be able to dodge. Theoretically, this demon should actually wake up, but for some reason, apparently not touching him and wandering around him helps. Anyway, best to put the rusted iron ring on, I suggest. Particularly running through here, it's as if you've been slowed down by the bottom of Blighttown where the swamp is. But you will not get poisoned. Now, at the top of the tower, as I'm showing you here, you get that soul packet, hidden wall. You do have to actually hit this one for it to be revealed. Another ladder. Climb at the top, we're getting our next Titanite chunk off this giant. Don't be too timid with this. I mean, you know, it's really up to you, of course, but realistically, you can run between his legs, try and hug around his butt. When he starts to do that stomp, you really should try and back off or roll. especially if he starts to do that. Those windmill haymakers, which can obviously do a lot of damage because he's actually hitting you multiple times. But yeah, ideally we should be able to do it. Now, you probably won't have the Black Knight sword that we've got attached, but ideally, hopefully you've got your Claymore at least to +5. If you didn't actually have enough Titanite shards, you should be able to buy that from Andre the Smith to at least upgrade it that one more time. That should give you just enough edge more over the Drake sword. At least a +4 Claymore will give you enough damage over the Claymore. Obviously we're waiting, timing. Ideally you'd want the light. It's kind of hard to judge, honestly. You kind of just want to try and run in the middle, block the lightning, run on through and hit him. Obviously you'll need to... You can just shield, you can just block those darts. They won't cause any poison damage, they're just regular bolt darts. So, but I will show you a bit later that one of the more feasible options is just to block as you go through. Now this guy, as tasty as doing a plunging attack on him sounds, we need him to help us. I don't know if you can do the jump attack and it'll do it, or depending on the size of the weapon, you probably can. But we need him to do a thrust, which he should do eventually. Sometimes it takes at least 4 or 5 goes, but you know, eventually, for him to break the wall for us. And yeah, just, you know, parry, chop, block, whatever it takes. If you're gonna block and swing, as soon as he hits, as soon as you've got the block, swing, because you will not get a wider chance. Same goes for a lot of later enemies as we continue, like Black Knights, Silver Knights, that sort of thing. Yeah, so Big Hat Logan, he will give us a lot of our bigger spells if you choose to go down the sorcery route, which we will dabble in a little bit, just a little bit. We will most definitely go into pyromancy a lot more. But anyway, our first soul packet of a hero size, which will give you 10,000 souls. Best thing you do is just stand and block him as the, you know, large boulders knock him over / kill him, as you'll see. Eventually. I don't know, sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it doesn't. Now, we should have waited, as you can see. Ding. Fuck. But anyway, get up, run. I won't kill you outright, but, you know, it's just showing you that that's going to happen. And we got lucky, and one of the lizardmen ran down and got killed in the process. So, again, wait and run. We pick up the steel... what was it again? Yeah, Ring of Steel Protection, that's it. I knew it had steel in it. Pardon me. Just had to think for a second. Now, take care of the lizards. Sometimes Onion Bro there will have actually taken care of them for us, but in this instance, it just didn't happen, so... Anyway, kill them, heal, go talk to him, exhaust his dialogue. At least showing you, relatively speaking, for most of the main NPCs, you know, where the spots are, where you meet them, where you talk to them, that sort of thing, and will allow you to give you at least the best chance to finish their storyline, at the least. A lot of the stuff I'm doing will actually show you how to get the trophies, at least. We do come across other items. Now, there is a whole list of items which I will endeavour to post in the below, in the you know, where I put the little blurb about what's happening in the episode. And or if not, I'll just put a link. I'll put a link in the description. I've heard so many YouTubers say that. I'll put a link in the description. It's like, yeah, I can do that. Anyway, sorry. Yep. Watch the ball. Run. Go through the foggy wall. Now, ideally, we could just run. You can try and time it. I tried to time it to run through, and then, you know. Yeah. So we you know, makes pretty quick work of him in that instance. And yeah, or you can just run through, let the trigger happen, and you know, kill the lizard. Now, run up the stairs, jump off the last, just after this broken pillar here. Obviously, kill him. Sometimes you might get the drop and actually, you know, kill him outright. Another soul packet. There's really... You can go there, but there's just really nothing there, to be honest. Come down, go up the stairs, pick up the apprentice's, you know, sorcery set. Apparently the idea is that the student comes looking for Big Hat Logan, but because we actually rescued him and brought him to Firelink Shrine, he didn't actually come here and die, but that's supposedly it. Anyway, catch this on the way down. If you catch on the way up, you will be killed by the spikes at the top. Heal, or use a flask if you need to, whatever. This is a mimic. This is one of, you know, a dozen mimics we're going to be facing from here on out. We'll get the lightning spear off him. Not bad, you know, if you want to go for that straight off the bat and start upgrading it. Well, you won't upgrade it straight away, but it will give you that lightning damage. Anyway, now I did clip it there, but you'll need to wait for at least 8 of those giant balls for it to load up and break the wall, and then you can walk in. There is that little alcove if you're safe, and that is our gold serpent ring, which will give us quite a good chunk of luck in terms of item discovery. Now, right back up. Best thing you can do is, as you get to the wall up here, run against the wall and just hop off. And I'll just show you here the spikes. And then, yeah, continue. Now, we're actually going to climb up here. Do give it a moment. Wait for it to at least be hit. Like so. Run up. You should have enough time to press said lever. Now, wherever that lever is aiming, the ball will go in the opposite direction. There's 4 mechanism pillars just above us, as you can see. It looks quite interesting if you look at it. Here, this is where I suggest you block. 3 times. You can certainly try. I think you can just run through or roll, but if you're not confident, I suggest just doing what I did and block. Now this you will definitely need to time to run. So the moment, yeah, there you go. So you can get a running start, and then yeah, because if you get hit, it will knock you down, and you will probably, no, you'll die. You'll likely die. You will die. Let's face it, that's a long drop. You're fucked. Anyway, kill that lizardman I just did first before you get this guy. You can run up here if you want, but there's a good chance he will aggro and start chasing you. Now, this one. This is where the fireball will come in handy. And hopefully you would have at least upgraded 4 to 6 times, because that'll make a significant difference. And yeah, simple as that. I have seen a few playthroughs of people that absolutely struggle with this, and yeah, that's besides a bow or dung pie or daggers or something, you know, that's probably one of the easier ways to get rid of that lizard. Anyway, now these boulder knights are almost twice as strong as the ones in the Undead Parish. They have a much higher chance of dropping all their equipment, as well as a Titanite shard. I believe they have a small chance of dropping a large Titanite shard, but anyway, don't quote me. Now, by the time we kill both of them, there is a I was about to say speckled, but it's a ring of fire resistance. And as you can see, the Drake Sword will start to just become Flame Stormplate Ring. There you go. The Drake Sword will continue to become all but useless unless you decide to upgrade it, which you certainly can. It's just that it costs 10,000 souls to start and a 1 scale. I believe you can get up through a couple of levels and then you'll need at least 2 scales and then finally 4 scales for the 5th upgrade. So 1, 1, 2, 2 and 4. So I think that's 10 in total that you'll need. Pardon me. Now, we were just going up through the achievement. Because essentially, last video after Ceaseless, we had a different character, so that's why we had extra souls that we could utilise, because we just weren't at a higher level as we are with this character. But anyway, if you're following along, this will... Pardon me. Whew. This will make up for it. Now, we get a large Titanite shard off him. You most certainly can spam/farm him if you want, but ideally there's no real rush for them because you will get a lot more later. And but at least if you follow this guide up until this point, you'll have a very decent chance of continuing on through. So. Now, ideally, I do, as I said before, I know I'm using the Black Knight sword, but if you've got the Claymore, it should only take you an extra hit or 2, in theory. Now, up here we have a Divine Blessing, and I know it's a Sacrifice Ring, Rare Ring of Sacrifice, there we go. So that's the better one. That's the one where if you're at least wearing that, and that's the one we will be wearing a bit later in the game when we go up against Scaleless. I don't know. It's the Scaleless Dragon. It's one of the lords we need to actually defeat. So anyway, point being, you've got your 1 mandatory death later in the game. And that's where the ring will come in handy to save your souls. Anyway, as we make our way up, kill this guy. Just time it, just give it a second. As he shoots, you can just run in and bit of luck there, we got another large shard. Now we're going to go up and take care of the other giant. Similar principle, run between his legs, stand at the back. This may take you a couple of goes. There is a way to cheese this guy at the top of the stairs there. You can like wait for him to do his swings and then he tires out and then he rests and then you get a chance to do 3 to 4 hits. But, you know, if you're hanging around his legs like that, you should be fine, to be honest. I don't guarantee it, I'm just saying. Anyway, for some reason these are therapeutic to break. I don't know, they just, yeah. Anyway, as we continue jumping, so yeah, make that jump. You'll take negligible damage, like it won't be a lot. Now, this part can get people. You want to take a very long jump. You want to try and line it on the left and just aim as straight as you can and then jump, you know, obviously just before the end of the ledge. This guy sells all sorts of stuff. Green Titanite shards, large, regular, the set, so bolder stuff, the even bigger knight, a lot of the arrows, the Katarina set, as well as the bolder set, and as well as the steel set, thunder and spell stoneplate rings there as well to purchase. I would advise at least the a lightning one, otherwise you probably won't need it, to be honest, especially if we're already wearing the, as I said, the outfit we're wearing. Continue back up. Now, we picked up the key that will unlock the elevator to Sens Fortress that we ran by just a bit earlier. We're about to go back there now, except we can make a slight detour. And for what I wasn't expecting to go out of my way to get, we go and actually get the sniper crossbow. Anyway, heal up, take care of the Boulder Knight. And then, yeah, we make our way back up. Because what we were going to do was to turn on / access the lifts, but I think at this point we've gone ahead and upgraded so we could get the Chaos Fireball attached. At which point we're not actually going to be using against the Iron Golem. However, you certainly can. There will be plenty of moments with the summon we're going to use, the NPC with Iron Tarkus. Now that key we got off before, this is where it's being used. Now you should be able to just run back in and it should be fine. That cage is protecting you for the most part. You can certainly have your shield up if it makes you feel better. Just swapping out. I don't know. You don't really need the gold Pine Serpent ring, ideally, but yeah, anyway. We're actually going to swap out to the iron ring, or armor ring, or, rings of steel protection, that one. There he is, Iron Tarkus. A little bit slow, a little bit sluggish, but he hits, and he's got defense, and he's a tank. He's our tank. Boom, here we are, Iron Golem. Now I like to wait a little bit till he's at least a bit further onto this platform, because he's got a few abilities. He's got a grab. If he grabs you, he can throw you off. If he whacks you with that giant axe, then you can send you flying. Pardon me. And as you can see, there's not a lot of them. Now, he actually does get me, and by some sheer luck, I've bounced off that pillar, that broken pillar. Now, you can get the stagger on him, but for some reason, I don't know. I guess I was just unlucky getting enough attacks in. Yeah, but anyway, eventually we keep fighting, keep whacking, keep running around, preferably to the back if you can. You gotta be careful. It's hard to tell because, I missed it obviously, but there's a moment there where he stops to start to swing around to grab you. If you have the opportunity to roll back, if you can avoid it as he swings around, or if you can get far enough around to the other side, running around his body. Anyway, that was it. That was all she wrote. It takes consistency. If you've got that bonfire there at the side of Sens Fortress, you shouldn't have to run all the way back if you don't have to. Of course, you can use True Humanity, be human, and kindle the flame to get a full 10 of Estus Flask. You have every opportunity to do that at any bonfire. So don't ever think you've got to just run back to Filing Shrine or Quayleg's sister, because you really don't, you really shouldn't have to run back the whole way from here. But anyway, long story short, we're about to approach another bonfire with a plus 10, with a plus. It gives you 10 Estus. But anyway, welcome to Analondo. Woo! Now this is where the game really begins. Hope you enjoy this. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.